Scab's healing over there.
Knocker, why don't you point out how close?
Right, here we are at Fort Pickett in Virginia, and this morning we got a shake. We was on Princess Scandinavia and we got a shake at R5, and then we spent 2 hours on the jetty waiting. Then we moved to somewhere else and we spent another 4 hours on the jetty waiting, and then we just lost all our equipment and we've moved out to this location, and this is all the equipment that I've got with me at the moment. It's great. And
there's a rattlesnake.
There's a hurricane inbound.
Richard White.
With torrential monsoon rains.
But Knocker, how do you see the exercise going for a defence troop as a whole?
Well, we're just basically worms in the big patch of soil of life.
This is Knocker White for CNN News.
Basically,
reporting live.
Everyone's forgotten about us. 20 battery have flown out without any equipment whatsoever, so they're a little bit gutted. And at least we know ours is in this country, which they don't, because they know theirs is still at Edinburgh.
On Echo Company, you say? Back them up.
Oh no, we're not.
Before Echo Company had the good old days. Just telling them about Echo Company.
Here, where's the junction wagon?
Exercise Purple Star, Day 2, 30th of April. The time is 12:25 in the afternoon. It's been raining for the last 18 hours. Paul Story is back in his sleeping bag. Going down.
Can't feel his torso.
Paul,
Yes.
do you feel like that you're actually in Virginia?
Yeah. It's here we are, lad. In America. Oof. The land of opportunity. And all I can feel is sweaty ballocks.
You can use that plumb to fucking word. That's in the dictionary as well.
How many points is he on?
20 hours.
Oh, I give it 3-7. I like that. Robert's so much more interesting.
Anyone not understand the practice? 5 rounds, 5 exposures, 2 rounds each exposure. Watch and shoot, watch and shoot.
What annoys me though is like
No, I've just made first one to finish. The other guy has to be his fucking lapdog for the rest of the tour. His work's
Jono, hey, to put on place that, answer the back. Sorry, I've brought
some ideas.
No, but I mean, fucking, they went down and checked it after one grenade went off, and it was just ripped it up.
Is it?
Just ripped the shreds.
Oh, the actual armour itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's it? I mean, I might know what sort of armour there. Get ballistic armour, it won't stop knives. They put some sort of body armour on it to stop knives, it won't stop bullets.
Get a boat next, you'll get that.
Get 200 views, you probably not at all.
been at Schwadron. His debut in the...
We should have too bad. Yeah, if it's on top of BB shoulder blades, yeah. I'll try and get a on that tower. I can see the ones that are fake.
Right, it's 10 to 7, it's a night for me. We're just about to start the final chapter on Exercise Purple Star. If you just look around, we've got about 15 frigates, about 8 in front of us and about 5 to the rear of us. They're all heading towards the exercise. I don't know exactly how far we are, we're a few miles off the Virginia coast. Just waiting to start the exercise, which starts at H hour, which is 1 minute past midnight tonight. Did you have to eat tonight, Knocker?
How many what?
How many donuts did you have to eat tonight?
I had 3.
3.
Show us the belly, Knocker.
Here we are on the Fort George, and I have to admit that I am a lot fatter than I was when I got on. I've had 3 donuts tonight for Scran. 3 donuts.
How many duffs have you been doing per night?
On a normal night, I've cracked 2 duffs. But on exceptional nights, I've had like 3. Yeah, but I've never had 2 main courses. But myself, Maurice Drysdale and Tony Phipps have been concentrating on the great eating competition. The important thing is Phippsy doesn't put any weight on.
It must be said, we have had some pretty fucking good scraps on this boat.
Yeah.
We have proper.
This ship is a luxury cruise liner in the grey funnel line. But when you compare it to the LSLs and the pile of crap that they are, and the ship in front of us, Fearless, the Death.
Spastic man.
Ship. Possibly the most hideously fucking grim ship in the whole of the British Navy. And when I say possibly, I mean it is the grimmest ship. If you look behind, you can see the Prince of Scandinavia. Oh, blissful heaven.
Albeit completely over the top.
5-course meals, plush carpet,
Yeah, sure.
Scandinavian
When you've got 3 or 4 guys to 1 man gross, then all of a sudden it goes down the pan.
Now 2:20. There's a lot of helicopter activity around. They're all returning to the ships because there's been a report of a mid-air collision over one of the beaches. We've just had 2 helicopters land on, and some of the 2-9 battery that were going ashore have come back into the hangar where they've abandoned their attempt to get ashore. All serials have stopped, and all the helicopters are being recalled to the ship. Apparently there's 1 call sign, they can't get on the net, and they're trying to find out which helicopter, if any, are actually missing. Could be a false alarm, but they've got to be certain. There certainly was a lot of helicopter activity before. The Americans weren't very happy about our flying at night. Normally they don't allow so much helicopter activity at night, although for the British it's quite a normal thing. Certainly seems to be a lot of helicopter activity over there. It looks like there's at least 4 helicopters. I'm waiting now for them immortal words. Don't worry lads, we'll have you on the Fearless in no time at all.
Yeah.
What's the depth of the ramp? That's good, don't worry about that.
Okay.
So stand by. Go on, off you go. Go straight through it, don't go a turn, alright? I want you to go straight up towards the valve, yes?
Yeah, okay.
Go on then, go on.
Here we are, finally at last. This is it. Day 1 of exercise Purple Star. We were the first people virtually to come ashore, well, during daylight. And it's just been amazing all day. Ships unloading. But who would have thought, whilst we were out there, that we would have ended up deployed on the end of a pier, like something out of Blackpool. The Americans have been shipping people ashore in huge, great hovercraft that can go about 40 knots, whilst we've been bringing our vehicles down on Mexi floats that somehow managed to stay afloat. I still don't understand how. Last night, 2 American helicopters collided at 2 o'clock. 16 people were killed. 2 others seriously injured. Me and Paul have got repeated bulletins for not wearing our combat body armour, having our radios, etc. Many different things, and I'm sure it'll go on like that.
Because it's 92 degrees.
Yeah, it's 92 degrees. I was boiling from before it even got light. I was completely soaked in sweat in the back of the BBs sorting it out, and things have just gone down from there. But I suppose it'll continue like this. It's great.
Right, well, I know what's on your minds, folks, at home. You're all thinking, yes, this vehicle is cammed out by a professional. Well, you wouldn't be far wrong. I can tell you that for nothing. This BV has been cammed out on such a professional level that I astound myself. And if you'd just like to look further from the cam, you might be able to see Jono actually live as we speak this minute on the point. If Knuckle White can just give us a bit of modern technology and use his expertise to zoom in on Jono right at the end of the pier, you might just catch a glimpse of him in action, and that would be unique in itself, wouldn't it just?
And there he is.
Is that him?
Yeah,
Is
I
he in
can
there?
see. I
You
can
got
see the helmet.
You can see the helmet.
He's got his radio on his back.
And really, I mean, that's appropriate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Helmet, the word helmet is appropriate. Because he is a bit of an helmet, isn't he? This here is... This here, look. See that? That there is an hovercraft. It's a US Navy hovercraft. £27 million that cost. Now then, our government could even afford £1 million. They've got about 40 of these. Says something, doesn't it?
Sealed in the BB, and there's $27 million worth of LCAC hovercraft going past us that produces twice as much wind as Hurricane Anne on an average day. The cam net's totally secured, but I don't think we're going to survive it. We're in a hailstorm of small pebbles now. 15 plus his BB. It's a whiteout. It's broken down. He's revving down. He's stopped right next to us. Oh my God! It's settled down on its cushion. Good Lord! What a behemoth!
We held it well. It's held on well, mate. Camn it.
Well, of course it has, because we shut it in the doors, haven't we?
No, what about the fucking
temp pegs?
Yeah.
The few miserable temp pegs that are holding it in. The thing is, with this cam net, it'll never ever blow away for the simple reason that it's impossible to get it up anyway, because it's caught on that many different objects on the BV. It's impossible to roll up under the best of circumstances. So I'm sure it'd survive a typhoon.
Tell on to fucking...
God, it can't be more than 10 metres away. But let's see if I can get close up to the driver. Big Bob. Oh yeah. Hi there, man. He's
Hi,
looking
Bob.
at us now. All right there, boy.
Hi there, Bob. How's it hanging, man?
All right. That cam net's never gonna survive when we take off, you suckers.
I'm in $27 million worth of merchandise.
He's pointing down at the cam nets now and he's going, do them boys realise what sort of back blast we're gonna get in a minute?
And then one saying, to me now he's going, oh my God.
A bit of off-road driving, man. Hey.
Well, for the record,
wasn't injured.
The reason that the driver looked a little bit disturbed then was the fact that the hovercraft was about to slide down and hit us, so we had to decam and move around as fast as possible and get out of the way.
I'm not coming up here, I think.
And when I told Pops, he just screamed at the thought of the huge LCAC landing on him.
I'm not.
Can you see anything?
Yeah.
But I do believe that the hovercraft at this very moment is leaving now. I can see Andy Catmore outside. He's getting wind blasted. He doesn't realise
Gonna pursue it,
the horror.
Gonna pursue it round. Did you have to make an hasty move? What? Did you have to make an hasty move? Did you have to make an hasty move? Of America, we've got 7 days left of this exercise and we're about 2 hours off a thunderstorm. It's 8:30 at night and Mo's coming in.
Go on, Morris.
Oh, not a quick, get it. We're gonna get wet tonight on duty. About 2 hours away. We've been up since 5 this morning, that was first light when we started. And we're just finishing now, 8:30. It's been a long day, but it's not been too bad because it's been quite pleasant because we've stood on this pier and there's been loads of women to stare at. Mo's married, so he weren't staring, he was letting other lads stare. And I'm getting married, so I wasn't really looking, I was just telling other people to look. Check the bikini lanes out. Yeah. I was talking to a guy earlier on and he said we're now in tornado season. Say no more.
It's day 2, the end of day 2, and it's completely changed here. There's lots of surf, a lot of wind, and it looks like there's major storm coming in. There's lots of lightning over there, and it's looking pretty grim, but at least it's going to be a lot cooler than it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, we've spent 2 days on this pier, and oh my god, what a start to a major NATO exercise.
It's been alright. This is called Risley Pier.
Come on then.
You can make that out. It says Risley.
Right, Sunday, 6:30, the 12th of May. Me and Knocker are here in our BV, in our position, while backward child is on the point. And we've been up since 4:30 this morning, haven't we, mate?
Yeah.
And we're knackered, aren't we, mate?
Shattered.
So, Andy Evans, nicknamed Daisy, has just been round with a little drop of hope, i.e. the mail for the lads who's been out here. So, here we go. This is it. Marine Streaves, married. Marine Malpas, engaged. Fipsy, trapping heavy. Clint, trapping. Clint, trapping. Clint, trapping. Rick Andrews, married. Spliff, married. Fipsy, trapping heavy. Fipsy, trapping heavy. And backward child who's trapping. Where's mine? Where's my mail? I got engaged last month. You're supposed to get mail if you're engaged. I've not had any. Even you've had 2 Knocker, haven't you?
Yeah.
And even though, I mean, they were from the bank and that, it's still, you know, it's still something, it's still there.
One from the dad.
I should start with sections. So there you have it. Here we are. And I've still got 7 days left to crack. And it's completely and utterly chad. I've not had any mail. None whatsoever.
That's because half our section looks like John Merrick anyway, isn't it, mainly?
Yes.
A mixture of... Okay, Paul,
Richard.
also known as Bring Out Your Dead.
Yeah.
because you seem to suffer from everything or get bitten or eaten by everything that's going. How badly would you estimate that we smell right now?
Well, good question, Richard, and well put over there. We've been out now 5 days, and I've still got the same rig on as I did when we started on day 1. And I reckon we smell pretty bad. I mean, my crutch, I can stink it from here. And even though I've put various applications of talcum powder around my groin, that's my groin, to just take away the rubbing. Oh no, that's funny one. It still does actually smell quite horrendously. And I've got another set of rig, because we're actually on day 5 now, and we've got another 5 to do, so I'm going to have an annual change tonight. So I'll be all cleaned up by tonight, but we do smell quite horrendous. And if my girlfriend was here now, she wouldn't, if you know what I mean.
Okay, your warmers, your waterproof, sleeping system, roll mat, mozzie net, overhead cover, and a bag of enthusiasm.
Right, explain what you're doing, mate.
Right, we're going now being separated from the vehicles, which is every Marine's prerogative. We'll be separated from the vehicles, and we may never see them again.
Yes.
We'll probably see them tonight sometime.
Because we're on this final phase, aren't we now?
The final 4 days, and then it's
Need some hexaglons.
stacks of there's a show.
And we're going to brag, aren't we?
Brag about what?
Hey, I don't know.
Full brag.
Yeah.
We're going to brag.
Yeah.
We've been promised accommodation, whether it comes off is another matter.
And then we've got 3 days off, mate, haven't we?
3 days on it.
On it.
And it's home.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Maurice. I'll just give it a zoom on I'm just going to do a quick zoom on what makes a Royal Marines driver tick. That's it there, look. Enough calories and nutrition to make the hardened commando continue.
Milk chocolate.
See? Unfortunately, you don't get any air lotion in there, do you, mate?
Yeah, mate, lotion.
Now we see before us.
Oh my God.
It's there.
The vortex.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do not be afraid.
It is the vortex.
It doesn't crawl
Time's going
before us.
It's countdown.
Oh God.
This is it.
You've only got a few hours, knocker.
The Royal Marine text team in front of you demonstrates for you now how to explode a burger in one easy step.
8 sharp plus 10 seconds
Yeah.
to go.
He's actually got 40 minutes left, but he's been doing this for 35 already.
He's there.
A wide angle view of the text itself, the text master in action.
My will to vortex is slowly ebbing away.
Luckily, Knocker's vortex is hiding 2 section commanders' vortex behind.
Before us, we now see the vehicle of the Antichrist.
You ain't seen it.
Little does he know this yet. Damien,
No.
son of the Dark One.
That's the worst picture. Who did that? Don't touch it. It's a good picture. That I want it left. I'm ordering you. Hey, look at me. I'm ordering you to leave that on there. If that's gone by the time you come back, you'll be doing every duty on the point until you fucking drop.
Hello, Sophie. Two-seater big truck, and we stopped off and I...
Wait. Charlie 20 Alpha, Roger, out.
Put helmets on. Where was I?
The Brigadier's on his way.
Yeah, I know the Brigadier's on his way. Anyway, we're in this... yeah,
shut up.
We was in this lovely two-seater truck coming to Fort Bragg while you all got squashed in like sardines.
Like maggots in a fucking tin.
Like maggots in a tin. You made your way here.
And basically we've just been suffering. But now we are finally reunited with our vehicle. And all the luxuries, well that's irrelevant, with our vehicle, the spaciousness, the food, the boiler, all the luxuries. And incidentally, we just drove past the Sea King that had crashed, taken out his tail rotor, and Jono had his head out of the top of the BB, taking a photograph, and we drove past the Brigadier. Yeah. And to put it mildly, the expression on his face was not one of pleasure.
Said it all, didn't it, mate?
It was somewhat grim. It was like this.
And if you have to look at that head, I wouldn't be too happy.
You can see that it is a man that's not that interested.
Yes.
Tell me what happened when you came to cross the airfield again. Quickly, please.
Right, today is the 17th, and I have seen one helicopter crash, and I've almost been run over by a Hercules, approximately travelling about 200 miles an hour. My deck commander, I won't mention his name, went to a said call sign to look for a said item. On leaving his location, Titchmurray 666 at the wheel proceeded to go towards a runway that was in use. I then said, 666, you're not going to cross that runway, are you? The deck commander, I won't mention his name, Geordie, said, fuck it. So we crossed the runway. The next thing, a Hercules buzzed us a few hundred meters behind us.
Fuck off!
Then, an aircraft controller type person in a vehicle proceeded to get in their vehicle and chase us across the airfield, where we were reported and given a severe reprimanding. That was my dice with death.
And what happened when you saw the helicopter crash?
Watching three or four Sea Kings coming in. One coming a bit too fast, dipped his nose, then lifted up, and the tail rotor snapped, and it come down like a sack of shit, basically. Everyone jumped out. So we went and drunk on them.
We drunk theirs.
well as the road.
But basically, you could say, in actual fact, that your deck commander has been responsible for
Don't try and incriminate me because you've had a bad.
making me think that I'd lost my aiming unit and it would be left by the road somewhere, and oh my god, and almost causing an international incident with a C-130, approximately 90 people on board.
I did advise not to cross the runway itself.
Well, I want to know.
Because last 2 years ago in Norway, the troop commander of air defence did the same thing.
I just took the responsibility myself for losing 80,000 quid's worth of aiming unit.
We haven't ruled out the reason for all these goings on.
Yeah, is the
Murray.
satanic one. There he is. Let's quickly have a look at it. Notice the height of the LML in comparison with him, because he is a rather short fellow.
He's actually, and his feet are about 6 inches off the ground there, but you can't see it because of the long grass. He hovers constantly.
It's incredible. A Royal Marine that is able to levitate. Day after Endex, which was yesterday. Apparently it's going to be the hottest day of all time here. We're going to get on an air-conditioned coach. Paul's got to wait with the vehicle and suffer grimly. Yesterday Endex was about 7 o'clock with a hail of gunfire from 2-9 Commando. And now we're going to have our excellent run ashore, but apparently we're banned from most of the places. And if you start a fight, the bouncers either squirt CS gas at you or prod you with electric cattle prods and tasers and various other objects. So basically you can't take on the bouncers. The whole of the brigade is around us, plus a lot of American recruits. And RSM's just given the whole unit a bit of a bollocking, mainly because they didn't want to wear their helmets and body armour inside the brigade command post, which would be pretty grim, sat in front of their radio headsets wearing all that sort of stuff. But that's the way it goes. I don't think it really likes anybody. Morris, would you just like to come here a moment? Because I would just like you to say, for the record,
Lawrence of Arabia,
that the responsibility for the loss of the aiming unit that led to me not being on the net as well and getting the apology for not manning the net.
Not my fault.
No, just put your towel over your head, mate. You don't want to be seen.
Basically, it wasn't anything to do with me, was it?
It was not your fault initially.
It wasn't anything to do with me.
It was the fault of several people. It was like just one of them things that happened.
It was a multi-fault thing, wasn't it? But in a way that, you know, I held you personally.
It wasn't my fault, mate. It was...
thing. Good job, good hustle, good job. Ball back in play. Still clear across court. One of the goalies are out. Yes. 2
Yeah! Go on, Royal. There you go.
Ball's out of bounds. Look out now. Go, Struckers. Ball's brought back into play.